What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this. This is my mid-mic crisis.
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mic Crisis. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic today. We're getting towards the dog days of summer. Kids are going to start going back to school soon. I'm getting ready for it. I'm going to be honest. That being
basically
said,
fall here the last couple of days. We got into temperatures into the high 60s, which for
I'm
you
assuming
is like,
that's
120. I don't know.
It got down to 8 degrees Celsius last night. 0 is where things freeze. So
wow,
8's not great.
This is what I like to call Bunchu weather. This is my sweet spot, my happy place, also referred to as football weather here in the States. It is the time where the weather is still warm-ish, but it's that kind of like high 50s to 70 is right in my Q zone.
That is, I agree. This is a good time of year. It's typically not this cool. I would say in August. This is more like mid-September weather. So I'll take it for now. But yeah, I'm ready for the kids to go back to school. But I found out recently that there's like a whole section of kids that go back to school in like mid-August.
Yeah, I was actually just saying this to my wife the other day, that I feel like it's been getting earlier and earlier. Like when we were kids, it was after Labor Day.
Always after Labor Day.
Yeah. And now it's like you end you end late June and you go back mid-August. It feels absolutely nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I think all the schools in Canada start in September at some point, but yeah, there's already been like a week or two of school for some kids already, which is
crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But, so wait, when do yours go back?
Like September, first week of September. I don't know if it's before Labor Day or after Labor Day, but like I think like the 4th or the 7th or something like that.
Fantastic. You must be very excited.
Yeah, you know why too.
Smashed noons. Hoodie weather is the best. Weather is correct. I love the fact that I can work in my basement every day because it is nice and cool down here almost all the time. So I'm perpetually in hoodie weather. And then Payne says, producer Payne, how does Chamber not have on a hoodie? Chamber, I just feel like you are probably too moist at any given time of the day to really wear hoodies.
I normally pre-show, I just did a little bit of cardio. So I got back about an hour ago and still not enough to bring core temp down.
Yeah, weird. The calendar block I have on your schedule, because we share all of our calendars together, you do have a 33-minute block for smashed noons.
Yeah,
that right prior to the show. So
I'm a little flushed.
Yeah, I get it. Your cheeks are rosy. Your beard looks moist, and you're ready to rock and roll. So, shall we get into the topic of the day?
Yeah, let's absolutely do it. I'm excited for today's show. This is going to be a good one.
I'm excited too, because I've been meaning to do this video on my own and for like weeks, and I haven't done it. So I'm excited to do it here with you. You know, Chamber, there's no denying that I have kind of become somewhat of a AI influencer. You know, and
is there no denying that?
There's zero denying, and here's how you can't deny it. When you start getting early access to things that are not available to the general public, there's really no denying it. You know, so
there really isn't.
Here I am, basically Sam Altman Jr. By the way, we had a very big week for the show in terms of social media interaction in the past week, since we had our Strawberry Man episode last week. We we got followed by Strawberry Man. We got
Mhm.
retweeted by the Strawberry Man.
Strawberry Man was DTF with MMC. You know what I mean?
He said I think he even said I love these guys and
Yeah.
retweeted our clip. So that's how you know he's not really Sam Altman, because
That's 100. Like that gave it away immediately. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's how you know
this
he's
is some
probably
dude.
just some dude.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
those, if they were anyone of note, they definitely would not vibe with us in this way. Maybe it's Elon. Who knows?
Maybe.
Would you? Well, I don't know. Maybe Grok 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take any
Anyway.
early access I can get.
So my point of talking about my newfound AI influencer fame and fortune, not fortune, is that I've been given early access to something that I don't think most of the world has access to. And today we're going to play with it. So you may be aware of a platform called Perplexity AI. Chamber, are you aware of Perplexity?
I was aware of it as soon as you brought it up a few days ago, saying you wanted to talk about it today.
Okay, fair enough.
So I am now currently aware of it.
So what do you think Perplexity AI is? How would you describe it?
I would say like a search engine chatbot. Is that?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of the next generation of search. It's AI powered search. And I think there's a lot of things that are very interesting about AI powered search versus what we know as search for the last 10 to whatever years with Google. And we'll kind of get into that with some examples today. But Perplexity has been around for, I don't know, quite a bit, maybe a year even.
Yeah, I mean, I was joking, but I remember us talking about it a little bit, not that long ago. But it's definitely, I've heard of it for a few months now, I would say.
Were you ever a user?
No, but just kind of aware of that was one of the.
I think today's show is going to make you a user of Perplexity or AI powered search in general. By the way, if you've never used Perplexity before, it's perplexity.ai is the app. There's a free version and a pro version. We'll kind of go through what each one of what it does and why you might want to use it. This is actually a tool I use every day in creating both the Mid-Mic Daily Bite and the Daily Ember podcast that I have. So I think this is particularly interesting for research, and we can go into why in a little bit. It also has its standalone iOS app, so you can actually use this directly in the app on your phone. So lots of cool ways to use this. And Perplexity has been around now for quite a bit, as I mentioned. They were originally built strictly on OpenAI. So they were kind of using the GPT models as their backbone, right? But now, and I don't know if this is just a pro feature or not, but you can actually use a bunch of different models in here to power your search. So you could use a bunch of different models, and there's tons of different reasons why you might choose one over another. But it's basically a search engine that's built on top of these large language models. And as I mentioned, originally started with OpenAI, but now you can use a bunch of different modules in here. They actually had a really cool update yesterday that we'll see if we actually get in our results today. But they basically built in a version of the code interpreter that from ChatGPT, so you can actually make charts and real-time dashboards in this as well. So lots of cool reasons to use Perplexity. Specifically, I use it a lot for research for the podcasts, and just in general, I feel like this is replacing my Google search almost entirely. And we can go into why when we start seeing some of these results here. But the reason I bring up Perplexity first is because about, 20 days ago or so, OpenAI and ChatGPT released the beta version of SearchGPT. So obviously, Chamber, you don't have access to SearchGPT because you are not nearly have the level of influence that I have in with the robot overlords. But you can imagine what SearchGPT is, right? It's basically,
I could imagine.
Yes, it's
only,
basically,
but I can only imagine.
You can only imagine. And today you will see it in action.
I'm very
right?
excited.
And then
for the
it'll be up
record,
to
by the
you.
way, for the record, this last 24 hours, my work colleagues think I am an AI influencer.
First of all, you are.
To them, I am 100%.
We can talk about that really quick. Well, that's kind of the beauty of this, right? It's such a new and novel space that is so, I would say the difference between this and like Web3 and blockchain, where we've spent a lot of our time as well, is that like that stuff is all mostly back end stuff, right? Like you're not, it's not in your face as much as AI is. AI is a lot of front end end user type of stuff that feels like magic. So when you can show somebody the magic trick first, you are the AI influencer, right?
Exactly.
In the blockchain world, it's like, man, there's only a couple really good consumer blockchain apps that exist that people are interested in, right? So I think that's actually a big difference between the two spaces, and why, you too can be an AI influencer, Chamber.
It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Before we get into what we're doing today, then tell people why your work colleagues think you are an AI influencer. First of all, do they know about this show?
Select few are in the fold. They also think I'm like a crypto billionaire. Like they just know I dabble in things that are outside of their purview, and they just think I'm an AI savant.
Stuff you'd have to be high to be interested in. Yeah,
100%. I mean, yes, that is accurate. But yeah, no, because we created the Daily Bites, which are AI generated versions of you and I that make little mini episodes a few times a week to satiate our fervent fan base.
Fervent. Wow.
You like those ones?
Yeah, the AI ain't generating that one. Holy shit.
I have access to my voice. So I create, I'm also in the cannabis industry. I work in the cannabis industry. And so I create little videos and stuff of products that I like and that I'm using. And a lot of times I'll do voiceover, and, I'm only going off the cuff and trying to do voiceovers, and it can take a couple of different attempts to get it right. And a lot of times I just don't like how it turns out. So now I just write a script. It sounds perfect every time, and I put it out. I throw a little music over the top, and literally nobody knew.
Do you have one? You could show it. I think it's worth showing if you have it, because again, this is one of those use cases that's like something you do in your daily life for your job, and it enhances that. And I actually think I thought this came out really, really good. Drew, am I supposed to believe these people are real? Coming soon. We might not be. Who knows? Just wait.
That is a good point. 1 second here. Let me.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, you showed it to me yesterday, and I was kind of blown away of like, oh, one, I was very proud of you, right? Because I really enjoy what I love about you is that I would say we're not an AI person until I kind of forced it down your throat. And I felt like I was forcing it down your throat. But now that I'm seeing you kind of use this stuff daily, I'm like, oh, this is really, really cool. Yeah, and you figured it out, and you're digging it,
Absolutely.
So, one, proud of you. Two, this is fucking, it's good, right? So like just another way you could be using this stuff to enhance all the things you're doing. So if you've got it, throw it up there.
I got it here. 1 second. Can you see that okay?
Yes. This is real video, correct?
Yeah,
real B-roll that you made.
It is like a fruit salad with notes of citrus and cherries. The buds are absolutely massive. I have 8 to 10 ping pong ball-sized buds in this bag. I'm having trouble holding them all. They're so big. Look at these beautiful nugs. The buds are gargantuan, but the bag is not capacious. This is Chad approved. Pick one up today. Hi, everybody. Chad here. Today I have the new 28-gram Midnight Mimosa.
This is great.
Mountain. It's coming in at a very high 27.1%.
I mean, it is exactly how I would imagine you sound. Like the intro, hi everybody, it's Chad here. Like it nails it. It nails it. There's a little point in the middle that if you didn't know,
100%.
You might think, but I don't think it's noticeable for most people. So did your work colleagues think, or did they know?
I literally I'll pull up we have like a separate group text for just kind of shooting the shit. And I told one person and they didn't mention it to anybody else. And they're like, I really like how you do the voice. Like one of the comments, I really like how you do the voiceovers. They have a good personality to them. Keep them coming. I would like for you to do my voice, the voiceover to my life every day. Like literally.
Oh my God.
Like
wow.
They think this is
what an endorsement.
It's very funny. But yeah, they think I'm a genius.
Drew said there was a word in the middle that Chamber would never say. Yes, fervent and satiate. Yes, this is how you know that we're speaking to a real AI.
I used. I also like to drop like little. Some of you may have picked it up, but I like to add little pop culture references. I use gargantuan and capacious. Which
that's probably the one that Drew is talking
about. That's from the HBO television series Succession. If you ever watched it, there's a great scene where these are ultra rich people, and somebody brings what we'll call a normie to a party with and this girl has this, a girl bag, basic, average chick bag, and they make fun of how big it is. It's they refer to it as gargantuan and capacious.
There's a deep cut. You gotta
it's fun for the people. It's a little
that's gonna go viral in the high billions subreddit.
Absolutely
yes. It's just you did a great job with those. I wonder if you can kind of create a bunch of those B-rolls, right, for all your products, and just kind of have this run on autopilot for you. Auto post to your what do you put it? Instagram and TikTok?
Just Instagram for the most part.
Gonna start without me, says ZG, 18 minutes into the show. Welcome. Welcome. You're fashionably late. Okay, one more thing before we get into the AI-powered search wars. I sent this to you today. Payne has not seen this. Nobody in the world has seen this except you. One of the things with the Mid-Mic Daily Bite.
Are these what you sent me today?
One of the things with the Mid-Mic Daily Bite is we were like, how can we start to try to add video to this? And can we automate that process? What does it look like? And, if you've seen one of the new AI image models is called Flux. And it is I would say the top open source image model currently, for a couple reasons.
Not even close.
It's uncensored, right? So nice. You can do a lot of things with it that you can't do with Midjourney or some of these other models that are more kind of neutered in a sense. And it's open source, which means you can do things like train on it, as in you can kind of train on specific styles and things like that, much like Stable Diffusion. So this would be kind of a comparison to a Stable Diffusion model, but I think it's better. It's actually the image model that is being rolled out in Grok right now on X. Really? And they did not censor it there either. You can do almost anything on.
Is Grok what I saw? I saw one this afternoon, I think, of like Donald Trump dressed regularly walking through a convenience store, like holding it up.
Guaranteed that's probably a Grok.
It was like a video. It was like a video
model. Well, what you do is you take the images from Flux or Grok, whichever one, and then you take that and you start it as the keyframe for something like a runway, and that's how it animates that image, right? So one of the cool things you can do with a model like this is train it on a specific style or type of image. And I wanted to try and train it on my own face so that I can generate images with my own face. And the results are in, and they are, I think they're pretty great.
I thought they were pretty great too.
They're kind of jaw-dropping. So first of all, let me tell you how I did this really quickly. So I wanted to just do a quick test, see if it would work. So I literally just sat in this chair and I have my external camera. So I opened my camera app on my computer and I just started clicking away, taking just a bunch of pictures of myself face on sitting in this chair with my same hat on that I always wear. And I just took it from a bunch of different angles like this. And then I made a bunch of different expressions to try to get it to be able to mimic some of my expressions. Trained the model. It took 30 minutes. And now I can create flux quality images with me in them. I'm going to show you the first two that I did. I don't even know if the world is ready for this. Okay, so my first prompt was Joe dressed as a wizard, and that's literally all that I put. That's all I put. So I could change this, right, and try to add to it and things like that. But we're going to show you Joe dressed as a wizard. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Hold on. So don't add this to the stage yet.
I'll let you add it.
No, you got to add it because
okay.
I'm sharing my whole screen here.
All right, you let me know when.
Go for it.
All right. Oh,
yo! I mean, tell me that's not my exact face, though.
It is it is your face.
So does it work if I zoom in here? Can you tell?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could zoom in more on my computer, but it even has the scar above my right eye.
Really?
Yeah, which is really interesting. So I zoomed in pretty close on that, and it has the scar. Obviously, my beard, this is an interpretation of my beard in wizard form.
And it also gives you a little bit more, some chestnut locks, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, it's got a little long chestnut locks in the back. But what I love about it is it also had the gaming chair.
Yeah,
because all 50 of the images were in this spot. So like this is what it has reference to, which I think is funny. And it's got the closet in the background. And then check this out. It's my hat. This is an S.
Just the wizard version of your hat.
It looks like the same damn material.
That's insane.
Isn't it crazy? Funny. Okay, that was one. And then I just said, Joe doing business, and this was outcome number 2. How about that?
That's unreal.
I mean,
I feel like you have that shirt jacket combo.
I probably do. Yes.
Yeah, like I feel like
I don't wear a watch. That is not what my desk looks like. There are more closet doors in the back, but the gaming chair remains. So the gaming chair is part of this model. I think it pretty much nailed my side profile. No,
I agree 100%. Like these are very good.
It's like this side of me, and it's even got where I have my gray hairs. Isn't that nuts?
It is pretty nuts.
So you can stop sharing this now because I got to go back. I'm gonna share. It'll get infinite window of death.
Drew says here, Bunch does not fit into the shirt jacket combo anymore. I feel like he does.
Not the ones I have in my closet because I've lost so much weight. But Von Front says, did you train it on any pictures of you not mean mugging? Most of them were some form of mean mugging. I did do a couple smiles and some YouTube style expressions there that really add to it. But I did. I gotta go find the one. I did Bunchu or Joe as a NBA basketball player. And now the one thing that you noticed in the one where I wasn't wearing a hat, it like took liberties with my hair. However, that's pretty much that's pretty close to how I wear my hair. But I didn't give it any pictures of that, right? So
I'm gonna let it give me hair.
It just made that part up. Like it's not referencing anything. So it did the same when I asked it to make me an NBA baseball or a basketball player. And it's so funny. I got to find the image now, but people have said on multiple occasions I've gotten this, that my face resembles Steph Curry a little bit. and this picture looks like Steph Curry. It gave me the Steph Curry haircut and everything. So I gotta go. I'll see if I can find it here.
Payne and I were aware of this. We've seen comments.
The Steph Curry?
Yeah. So multiple episodes ago, we were going to bring it up, but we kept running out of time. But this is something we were going to bring up. We actually found pictures where Steph Curry was
there's
wearing
actually
a hat.
2 that I look like Steph Curry.
Yeah, it sure is. And I never thought of that. And I saw 2, somebody made a comment twice. It wasn't the same person. And, you see it one time, you're like, it's silly. But then when you see it a second time, you're like, does he look like Steph Curry? And then I started pulling up pics and I'm like, oh shit, this guy looks like Steph Curry.
All right. So hold on. I got 2 here that I look like. I feel like I resemble Steph Curry. I have to find them.
Payne and I may have these pictures available because we had a separate side chat where we were talking about this.
I can't believe you guys actually talked about this.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like it was like 7 episodes ago.
Okay, so here's the 2 that I look a little bit like Steph Curry.
One
actually was not even a basketball prompt. Ready?
Yeah. Let me know. Do you want me to pull it up?
Hold on.
It's so funny that you're bringing this up.
Hold on. Now I have to put it here first. So don't check your Discord so you could be surprised.
All right. I was gonna say Payne might be doing some work also in the background. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this one also is Steph Curry. Potentially. This one, the basketball one actually looks a little less like Steph Curry. But they both look enough alike it that it's kind of weird. Okay, so the first one here, I prompted that as a superhero. I wanted to be a superhero walking away from a burning building. Ready for it? You can share it. Oh, sorry, it's this one. There you go. What do you think?
Four out of shape. 4 dads. Out of shape.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Dad Advice podcast.
Hanging out once a week. Consuming beers. What will they say next?
Confucius said, "You can go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with sticky fingers." You ever use a bidet? Bidet to you, sir. Get him a telescope so he can see Uranus from farther away.
Can we give some dad advice here? If the buttons on your shirt button the opposite way, that's the lady's shirt.
I mean, that looks like Steph Curry,
right? It's because of the hair, though.
It's the hair. You're right. It's the hair.
Because that's my face. It's still my face, right? But it's the hair. Are you ready for the basketball one?
Yeah, I am ready for the basketball one. That's unbelievable.
I look less like Steph.
You look
Curry
like
here.
Seth Curry there.
I look like Seth Curry here. But again, it's the hair. The rest of it is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You got a little extra melanin.
Yeah. So
that's
weird.
Unbelievable.
So weird. But there you go. So
it was brought up twice. And like I said, the first time you kind of just like brush it off. You're like, that's a weird bot thing to say. And then the second time I saw it, I was just like, 1 second here. We got
one more. We got one more here for you to share when you are ready.
Yeah,
go for it.
It is a second here.
How about that one? It's pretty close, man.
Close.
That's pretty close.
Who'd have thought?
Anyway, so
that's fantastic.
That's it. We've got the we've got the Flux image generator trained on my face, and
turns out I look like LeBron James. People didn't know.
Should we do yours?
Oh, we're gonna do mine. I'm gonna get you to send me the app you use to take pictures because I have my camera set up very similarly to yours. So
It was just literally if you're running Windows, just search camera and you
and just take
bring
it
up
that
the
way.
camera app and click, save them to
Boom.
your image thing. Send me a zip file and I will get
we'll
this
we'll,
done.
we'll
for
get
you.
that done. We'll get that done.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But anyway, I could do a full tutorial on how to do this. It was actually really easy. But now it's very fun to make images of myself. So without further ado, now halfway through the show, don't forget, like, subscribe, give us a share, do all of that stuff because we're trying to be AI influencers.
Yeah. Well, Bunch is already in. You guys need to get me in now.
We want to get early access to this stuff so we can show you how it works. All right. Without further ado, this will be our artificial unintelligence segment.
1 second. I wasn't ready. That was our funniest video of last week, by the way, is when I fucked up. And here we go.
Feeling dumb, want some fun, time for some artificial unintelligence.
All right, time for our artificial unintelligence segment where two unintelligent dudes mess around with AI. So here we go. We've set the stage. We've got Perplexity AI and we've got SearchGPT, and we are going to test these against each other. And so we're going to do a bunch of different tests that I prepared. Now, I wouldn't be the quote unquote AI influencer that I am without using AI to build this entire demo. So here's what we did. I used Claude.ai to help me come up with these tests that we could test various things, various types of searches with both of these platforms. And we can grade the results chamber and see who's going to come out the victor. But what I also did, I took it one step further and asked Claude to, how do I say this? I asked Claude to build me a grading scale for each of these tests. And we're going to use Claude to grade it as well. So we've got a Claude project here that I created that is going to help us grade each one of these tests. And if you haven't used Claude before, they just introduced this very cool thing where you can actually capture a screenshot right in here. So what I'm planning to do is seeing if it will be able to tell us right from the screenshot of both results which one is better. So this is going to be a live thing. I don't know if it works. I didn't test it, but here we go. I've got the searches that we're going to run. And the first, we're going to run through 10 different types of tests here. Chamber, I think we're our goal here.
Very thorough test here. This is
yeah.
Good.
Our goal is to test out a couple things. We want to test a bunch of different types of search. So I want you to be thinking about, one, what's your normal experience with Google now when you would search something like this? Two, how do the results potentially compare to each other, both in quality? We'll be able to kind of judge the speed here in real time. And I guess the output and sources are probably the things we're going to look at here. And then at the end, then we're going to grade each one against Claude and see what we get at the end on who wins, right? So the first thing that we are going to do is test a real-time news query. So both of these things have access to the internet. Obviously, they are searches. So we're going to test something that is in real time and see if which one gives us potentially better results. What real-time, let's say, geopolitical event should we test this on, Chamber? Give me something here.
Maybe something to do. Like I know the DNC is going on this week.
Okay.
Maybe who the speakers are tonight? Like who are the speakers tonight or something like that?
Okay. Let's see. What are the latest developments coming out of the DNC? Let's see.
Yeah. It's very topical.
Well, that's what we're trying to do
here. They had Little John. I prefer saying Lil. I like to say little. I like the full word.
That will be another tell if you're AI or not, which version of Lil John you use.
It's my wife is very keen on us having an additional safe word, but for AI purposes.
Well, now you need it now that you have a clone. Okay, you ready for the first one here? So
Yeah,
some
okay.
things that I'm noticing really quickly off of the bat is the difference in kind of this home screen UI, right? Like you've got Perplexity has a little more here on the sidebar than ChatGPT or SearchGPT does. You can kind of share things. It's giving you potentially prompts that you can put in here if you didn't have your own. I'm going to, I have the Pro version, but I'm going to switch off of Pro for this and just test the the base version. So here, you could set a focus for your sources, which is really interesting. You can attach something here, which is really interesting. You cannot do either of those in this version of SearchGPT. So maybe initial UI points for Perplexity. Ready for the results? Let's see what happens. Okay. So we had an initial, I would say, burst of speed here from Perplexity. It took this top thing and put it out almost immediately. SearchGPT took a little longer. What do you like in terms of the UI format?
So immediately the Perplexity one stands out. I'm getting images. I'm getting a bit more of a traditional like search engine layout versus the SearchGPT with it just looks like a traditional GPT
answer. Yeah, totally. I agree. I think the big things for me on the Perplexity version of this answer, I think it's really highlights individual things here, right? So we've got today's highlights, we've got notable moments from today, we've got key themes, right? And so I think it's broken down for you in a little more constructive way. But you know, SearchGPT does kind of the same thing here. So they're talking about how she's been officially nominated, who the key speakers were, logistical adjustments and protests, all of that kind of stuff. So the results are interesting and similar, I would say. How do you feel about how the sources are presented in each of these?
So so it looks like the sources, it looks like CNN. What's the little blue guy there?
This USA Today,
USA
CNN, CBS News, and 5 other sources.
Okay. I feel pretty good about that.
This says it was updated 9 hours ago. This doesn't tell you when it was updated, but here there's only two sources listed here as in things you can click on, but each one of these has a source, which I think is interesting. The sources are footnoted like this on Perplexity. What do you think about that?
Yeah, to me, it's not even close. I like Perplexity's experience so far.
Okay, and then the other thing too here is you could search images, videos, and you can generate images through here on Perplexity. Here, what do I got here? I could do Media Alt 2. I don't know what that is. I could do that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. What is this? Okay, that's back to the search. If I wanted to modify that, I don't know how to get away from it. Oh, I just click off of it. Media Alt 2. Oh, so this is already done an image search.
Okay. And maybe some generative images, maybe? Or are they all actual images?
I can't tell. They look like they're actual images, but
okay.
That's interesting. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to. Let's keep this here for the screenshot because now we want to go to Claude and screenshot our results here and see what it grades this first one. So I've given each of Claude has given us like 3 criteria, I would say, for how it's going to grade these. And I'm hoping it's going to grade it both at the same time. So it's going to give us a point scale for each test.
Okay.
So I'm just putting in, this is the result of the current events test. All right, let's see what Claude says. So I would say personally, both of us seem to prefer the Perplexity one.
Yeah, I would say after the first test, I would say Perplexity for sure.
So this is interesting. It actually gave Perplexity a slightly lower score.
Interesting.
So here's why. This says OpenAI. So it actually gave OpenAI a perfect 15 out of 15, which because it scored 5 out of 5 in timeliness, comprehensiveness, and accuracy. So it gave
Okay.
that
All right.
a 15
Which
out of
is what
15.
which is really what you want.
Yes. The information is very recent, mentioning events from the ongoing convention, covers a wide range of developments, including nomination speeches, protests, platform issues. Accuracy, the information provided appears to be factually accurate and aligns with reputable sources. So Perplexity got a 13 out of 15, and it seems that it docked it on comprehensiveness. It gave it a 3 out of 5. It covers some key points, but misses several important developments mentioned by OpenAI. Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay.
It says, in conclusion, while both systems perform well in timeliness and accuracy, OpenAI's SearchGPT edges out Perplexity in comprehensiveness. So,
all right, I like it.
I definitely think the user interface, though, I prefer Perplexity. So that's going to probably stay consistent throughout the whole show, right?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay, so the second test we're going to do here is multi-step research. Okay, so this is an example of, what I think is cool about this chamber that, different than a normal Google search, is this should be able to give us kind of multi-step stuff where a Google search really couldn't,
Right.
So let's go. We're going to start new threads for these, and I'm going to put in our new prompt for multi-step research. Planning a trip to Japan. What are the best seasons to visit, top attractions in Tokyo, and current COVID restrictions? And then let's do the same here.
All right.
And off to the races for round 2.
Perplexity. Oh, okay. Oh, now we got. I feel like the image quality is much better now.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. So you don't even. So it's got your. You still got your sources on the side because I didn't click that off, but now I'm feeling I like the OpenAI answer.
I agree.
Maybe a little better, right? So it covers all of them. It covers and it lists your sources here. Reddit, somebody's blog, Inside Japan Tours, a bunch of others, sources here, Asia highlights, Inside Japan Tours, same one, Lonely Planet. Okay. But here, I mean, I like the presentation of this a lot better on this.
I agree.
So it gives you pictures and images of what it is, of where you're trying to visit. It says spring here, and autumn. So Perplexity says spring, fall, winter, summer. It actually describes what it's like.
Oh, I see.
In each of these seasons.
Perplexity. That's not making a decision. That's just saying all of the seasons. But I see they.
But it even says summer. Fewer tourists, things like that. So spring, given similar reasons. Oh, it actually lists out them all here. So it tells you what top attractions. How do those relate? I like that it gives you images here as top attractions versus Perplexity. It really only.
It almost
gives,
like flip flopped.
Yeah, look at this. Like it only gives this for your top attractions, which is, search results don't provide a specific list of Tokyo attractions. Okay, I would say this one's a clear winner personally.
Agreed.
But it's given, and then it gives COVID restrictions here.
Again.
So let's do the test on. Let's start it here for the screenshot here and see what it says. Let's rate. What do you think it's going to be?
I have to imagine it's going to be a 15 again for SearchGPT. It might even be lower than 13 out of 15 for Perplexity. I'm going to say 12 for Perplexity.
Okay, so here we go. We are firing up Claude to give us the results for this one. While it's doing that, our next one is going to be a source comparison. So we're going to check on the types of sources here.
I keep looking at the picture of you playing.
Okay, Claude doesn't get it. I'm saying here.
Oh, interesting.
It actually gave Perplexity the win on this one. It gave Perplexity a 14 out of 15.
Okay.
It docked it 1 for organization. So this says completeness 5 out of 5. It covered the best seasons, top attractions, but it didn't. So I'm discounting this one. We're docking that. Organization, it gave a 4 out of 5. Practical usefulness, a 5 out of 5. So it gave that a 14 out of 15. OpenAI, it gave a 13 out of 15. Okay. Now, I think that, yeah, so it's Claude is clearly not understanding the images as well.
Well, I don't think an AI can account for the pleasantness of layout. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, this even says here that it covers the best seasons to visit with detailed information, but lacks information on Tokyo attractions. And clearly, it does have here.
Yeah, it does have Tokyo attractions.
It's probably because the window size that I'm putting in here didn't cover that. So yeah. So what I'll do for the next one is I'll just copy and paste both results instead of sending the screenshot. Right. So I would say this one wins personally for me.
I agree.
And I'm surprised. The first time we really liked the Perplexity result.
I wonder what makes it change like that. Like, because it almost.
That's why we're doing different types of searches, right? Because I think so. Chamber, please keep some score. Write down your score. Yeah. Write down the scores here. So we had the first round. Real-time news went to Perplexity. Multi-step search went to SearchGPT. Mm-hmm. Next we're doing here is source comparison. So we're going to ask it to provide reputable sources on a certain topic. So here we're talking about what are the main theories about dark matter. Please provide citations from reputable scientific sources. So let's judge that.
Big dark matter fan. Do you know there's more dark matter in the universe, or theoretical dark matter, than anything else?
Wow.
It's true. I mean, it could be true. It's a theory.
Yeah.
I'm also getting Steph Curry updates on my phone all of a sudden.
Oh my God. All right. We got to speed this up a little. We're not going to get through all of them. All right. So what are the main theories about dark matter? Sources, kids.fronterson. I don't know what this is.
Kids.fronterson?
I don't know what this is. Frontier Sin. Sorry. Frontier Sin. Wikipedia, space.com. And some others here.
Space.com, good.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, good.
The sources here are CERN.
CERN.
Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, CERN. CERN's for legit.
Okay. How would you grade the sources? See, here it's got research papers from.
Yeah, I like SearchGPT on this one myself.
Okay. How about the actual like theories here? Do you think it's presented better in one versus the other?
I think I like the presentation for this type of search. I like the more OpenAI style layout.
Yeah,
that's a personal preference.
I would probably agree. Hold on. I'm putting these now that I have to copy and paste. It's going to take me a second longer. So here are the results from Claude. So you would grade this one a OpenAI win?
I think so. Yeah, for me.
Okay.
Again, just when it comes to research and this style of search, I think I like the layout and what I'm getting from OpenAI.
What I actually like better, I think, about the Perplexity one is this window here, like the definition, what it means.
Yeah.
Detection difficulty. Like I like that. This just seems a little harder to read to me. I don't know, but here we go. It's got all the information, and Claude agrees. And I actually think this is the most accurate, the accurate grading we've got so far.
Okay.
So it gave OpenAI a 13 out of 15.
Okay.
And it gave it a quality of sources 5 out of 5, diversity of sources 4 out of 5, citation clarity 4 out of 5. It gave Perplexity a 10 out of 15.
Interesting.
Quality of sources 4 out of 5, diversity of sources 3 out of 5, citation clarity 3 out of 5. So Claude's got OpenAI winning this so far 2-1, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and you have it winning what?
Like I have it 2-1 also, but like in my opinion, I've
got it 2-1 Perplexity so far.
I'm the opposite. I'm 2-1 SearchGPT.
Okay. Here's the next version of this we're going to do. So one of the cool things that you see here is ask a follow-up. And you can do that. You see that down here as well. So you can keep going with this thread, which I think is really interesting. So we're going to grade the follow-ups here. So we're going to start with a very easy question for both of these. Who invented the telephone?
Is that an easy question? I feel like
it should be for these.
There's
right?
an official answer, but you know, there's conspiracy abound.
The government.
Yeah. Obama.
Obama invented the telephone. Okay, so first of all, I think the result for this one is better. Perplexity, just in terms of layout, right? But this is basically just pulling the. Personally, I think that you like this better.
I mean, the SearchGPT kind of just gives you a clear answer, what it looked like, and then almost like a Wikipedia style kind of intro entry. Whereas the Perplexity, I find, is a bit more. There's a bit more to it. It's a bit more not complex, but it's a little bit more sporadic, I think, in the layout.
All right. So now we've got our follow-up questions. What year was it patented, and how did it differ from other communication? So let's see how it does with these prompts. And then we've got one more question after that. And we're just going to see how it does with these follow-ups. So we've got the last follow-up is how did it impact society in the following decades? So I think these are a diverse set of follow-up questions that tell the whole story of the telephone. Let's see. So Chamber, now you've got the full picture here. Do you like how the follow-ups were presented any differently?
I would say they're pretty similar. It looks like maybe.
I kind of like how concise the SearchGPT one is a little bit.
I agree. For both, yeah, I don't disagree. I think that is it. These are close. These are probably the closest it's been out of any of the tests we've done.
I agree. Let's see what Claude says as we get our official AI grading. But so while we're doing this, how do you feel about this format of how these are being presented versus a Google search?
I like it because usually when I Google something, and if I need like Wikipedia, not that it's like the only thing I look up, but like basically you Google something to get to Wikipedia. But I find it's cutting out the middleman, right? Like you're searching it and it's giving you a Wikipedia style layout and answer. I like this a lot better already.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're going to do the next one here while I wait for these results. We'll start prepping the next one. We're going to be doing fact checking. So we're going to ask it to verify these statements. But before we do that, the grades are in for that fourth round. I think you were right. They were the closest in score we've seen so far. This gave OpenAI a 14 out of 15, and it actually gave Perplexity the edge at 15 out of 15. So it gave 5 out of 5 for OpenAI, 5 out of 5 for relevance, consistency, and 4 out of 5 in depth progression. So it says the answers provide additional details, but the depth is moderate. And then it said, which I actually felt when I read this too, the depth was better in the Perplexity one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Now we are on to fact checking. Let's see how these do. So this is our fifth one. We can stop it at 5. We had 10 prepared. We can do the other 5 another time because we're going to be tight on time here. But so we've got our fact checking here. So we asked it to verify these statements. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. Vitamin C cures the common cold, and the Eiffel Tower can be up to 6 inches taller in the summer. Off the bat, I like how the OpenAI one is presented better. It just covers all of it right in one window, right? It does it actually cover all 3 of these? Yeah, okay. So did they give the same results? Great Wall of China is visible by space. This says it's a myth.
Correct.
On OpenAI. Also says the statement is false for Perplexity. It also gives the reasons, which I think is interesting.
It's too freaking small.
But this one, OpenAI doesn't give the reasons.
Okay. So
vitamin
C again.
Vitamin C, false, or Perplexity just says false, right? Vitamin C on OpenAI says not supported by scientific evidence.
All right.
That's interesting.
I like that.
The Eiffel Tower statement is true, and they both say it's true, and that it can indeed grow 10.
Is it just kind of like heat compression or cold compression?
Yes. The Eiffel Tower is made primarily of iron. When heated, the iron expands, causing it to grow slightly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, same thing happens with my Eiffel Tower. So we are what? Sorry.
That's funny. It's not
Sorry.
So I don't know.
Let's give the results to Claude. Go ahead while I'm giving these results.
Preference, I think, still is SearchGPT, even though the depth or the breadth of information might be a little bit more in Perplexity. I think I would give up 10% of the information for better UI. And I like the way.
Which is interesting because when we started this, we both said we liked the Perplexity UI better.
Yes. But I think the more I look at it, the different types of searches we've done, I think I'm definitely leaning slightly towards SearchGPT.
Yeah, interesting. I think that shows the impact of this demonstration, though, and the reason we should go through each of these types of searches, right? Because
totally,
there was a very stark difference between the first one we did and the last one, and the second one we did, right? Yeah. We both liked Perplexity off the gate, and then immediately with the multi-step one, we decided we actually liked the OpenAI one better. So for this last test, it actually gave them a exact tie, 14 out of 15. So it said OpenAI's OpenAI's accuracy of verification was 5 out of 5 with accurate explanations. The quality was 5 out of 5, which I actually thought the quality was a little better on Perplexity in terms of the explanations.
Yeah.
Specifically for the Great Wall one. Source credibility, it gave a 4 out of 5. So it mentions reputable sources like NASA, Encyclopedia Britannica, and Wikipedia, but doesn't provide specific citations, is what it says which is actually a deviation a little bit from the first one. But actually, I mean, these are clickable links, so I'm not sure I totally agree with that. But the computer doesn't, AI doesn't know that when I'm pasting the results in. Same exact thing with the source credibility on Perplexity. So if it had the whole picture here, I think it would give it a 5 out of 5 for each. So it actually gave it, which I think this one's actually super important. Fact checking is a reason why you do search to begin with.
Absolutely, right? So, I mean, the number one thing.
Yes,
exactly. I mean, I remember a time where people would just make statements. Like I remember like 1995, and you could just say shit, and there was no way to fact check it. You know what I mean? You just get away with saying the craziest shit. So yes, fact checking, in the early days of the internet, in the early days of Google, was like the number one. Like that was the number one use case, was settling arguments with facts.
Yes. So as I bring this in here for the final grading, we've gotten, now we said there was a little difference here on these first two because we were giving it the screenshots. Actually,
Right.
the big one was here where it only received like half the page. So I would probably call this one somewhat of a closer tie. Maybe we'll give the edge to OpenAI, and more like a 13 to 12. But because it docked it 2 points for that.
Right.
So on overall, it gave, based on this grading score, it gave the edge to OpenAI SearchGPT with a score of 69. And if we add those 2 points back, Perplexity would have gotten a 68, but it gave it a 66 based on what we actually gave it. So OpenAI performed particularly well in current events, reporting, and source comparisons, and Perplexity excelled in multitask reasoning, which I actually think is definitely true. And the follow-up questions. And overall, though, the margin's pretty small. So which do you like better overall, Chamber? Are you preferring, when you get access to this, the ChatGPT version, or are you sticking with Perplexity?
I think at the beginning I was a Perplexity guy, but I think I'm a SearchGPT guy.
Look at you.
I think that's where I also feel more confident long-term with OpenAI. I feel, but I'm not, that's just an instinct.
Fair point. That's a fair point. They certainly have the distribution, right? You've got 200 million users of ChatGPT and maybe a fraction of that for Perplexity. So the more of the same types of features they offer, and if they're comparable over time, I think SearchGPT will end up winning.
I think Perplexity for me needed to be significantly more impressive than
there are different things you can do now with Perplexity that you can't do in this iteration, but this is just a beta of SearchGPT. It hasn't been fully rolled out, so they're probably going to have all of those things in the future, because originally this was built on that, right? So perfect. I loved this. I'm glad we did it. We have 5 more we can do at a later date if we want. But as for this one, we are giving the edge to SearchGPT. Personally, I still think I may prefer Perplexity, but
I feel like it's a toss-up. I think you're okay. Whatever your preference is, you'll be just fine.
But either way, we've comprehensively tested it. We've got 5 more tests. We gave it different search types, and you can see the results here for yourself. That's going to do it for the AI segment. You want to end with 1 minute of pain?
I sure do.
Well, I guess it's actually a mix. 1 minute of pain or dad talk. Which do you want to call this?
Let's do dad talk.
Dad talk. Dad talk. It's time for some dad talk.
So this is actually 1 minute of dad talk with me. That's what this segment is going to be. So we are here to talk about fatherhood with the newest father of the DGen Network community, Payne. Congratulations on your newborn bundle of joy. How are you feeling? Tell us really quickly about it.
Oh, what a mix. It is a I'm like, look far too well rested. It's a mix. Really surreal experience. Especially because we didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl. And in my mind, I thought it was going to be a girl. So when it came out a boy, that already threw me all the way off. But it's been a blast. Dude, they changed so fast, so quick. And it's the strangest thing.
Only a week in, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I do find they change more, like that first year. Like there's more change.
Yeah, like I don't remember what my kids were like as infants anymore. You know what I mean? It just all kinds of blends together. But how's the missus?
She's doing great. She killed the whole labor part, and we've got a fortunate situation. I feel like the baby sleeps pretty well. Like it's already kind of stretched out. It'll sleep 2 to 4 hour clips, which I don't know that's.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's the norm.
No.
No, not the norm. Well, congratulations, Payne. The burning question that I know is on Chamber's mind before we wrap up is, did you, during the labor process, did you stay above or below the equator that is the gauge of Chamber's labor experience?
I went both ways. So
A real utility player.
Yeah.
You can go above the equator or below.
That's right. I was, in my mind, I thought I could catch the baby if I really needed to, and honestly, it came out way too quick. I would have missed.
Yeah, like I it's funny you say, because both my kids were fast deliveries, and like you hear all these nightmares of like long labors.
Oh my god, my wife was 36 hours for our first one, and then like 36 minutes for the second one.
Oh. Wow.
Much better.
Yeah.
Very different.
Significantly better. But that's good, man. Congratulations. Are both of you sleeping well? Like,
yeah, we are. I'm already kind of fun.
How much family assistance do you have? Because that can help out significantly also.
We had a lot in the very beginning, but neither of our families live around us. So
we had that same issue.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. You're in the trenches together.
In the trenches, deep in it. But,
that's good. It builds character.
In the crypto world and in life, you are in the trenches. And that is going to do it for us today. I hope you enjoyed the search wars, the AI-powered search wars, SearchGPT versus Perplexity. It's really a toss-up. Decide which one you like better. Chamber, will this change the way you do search?
I will. Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna probably use SearchGPT a little bit more, if not completely.
Von Frunton says he's 4 hours away if you need an unskilled babysitter. I believe you could probably have AI be an unskilled babysitter at the moment as well. Yeah. So you can just spin that up really quick. Ask Claude for all of those things you need. And that is going to do it for us. So until next time, keep the mic hot.
What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe.